Lizardono has 1, so you have chosen Lizardono. Okay, so you have the fight, and... Ooh, okay, good. Korsha defeated Green. Green says, "What? Unbelievable, I picked the wrong Pokemon." Korsha got 1,000 V-Bucks for winning. Professor Oak says, excellent. If you win, you earn prize money. And what's this? Supporting the stream has a strange effect on your Pokemon. Each of the 3 Pokemon I showed you can be made much stronger by its own method of support for the channel. I wonder if their names are a clue. Please release the sprites on Discord. Yeah, let me know. Remind me and I will. Battle weather changes make your Pokemon strong. Okay, so we're going to do a giveaway. The giveaway is going to be, as you might have guessed it, for 1,000 Let me not share that screen where you share the code. Don't look. Back to the story. Back to the story. Oh, right. Of course, I'm you too. You too. Okay, so we defeated Green with the Pokemon that you've chosen, which is Lizardono. Professor Oak has told you about the various Pokemon and how their names might be a clue to make them stronger. Okay, to Route 1. With your rival handily defeated, you head north out of Twitchtown to Route 1. True to Professor Oak's words, the grasses here grow unchecked, easily obscuring hidden Pokemon. Red eyes of tiny Rattata gleam in the shadows, and Pidgeys coo as they fly overhead in the bright blue sky. After picking your way through the shrubbery, you're greeted by a trainer tossing a rugby ball from one hand to the other. They look up and introduce themselves as Q. Hey, if you have some Pokeballs, you can catch these Pokemon. You have no Pokeballs. And when you ask for some they might spare, he simply redirects you further along the path. There's a shop up ahead. You can't miss it. They have Pokeballs and healing items, anything a trainer could want. You wave in thanks and continue along before the path opens up to a bustling Viridian City. The city of Evergreen. Viridian City is the first stop along your journey to becoming a Pokemon Master. This beautiful city is enveloped in green year-round and is home to the Viridian Gym, led by a mysterious ground-type expert. After your first exciting trainer battle, you feel compelled to ensure your Pokemon is fully refreshed. In mere seconds, you find yourself beaming up at the red roof of the Pokemon Center, a safe haven for trainers to rest their feet and their beloved Pokemon. As soon as you approach the glass doors, they slide open with a cheerful bing-bong. Directly ahead of you is a reception desk, and behind it, a smiling nurse and her Chansey partner. Hello, I'm Nurse Daku, the attendant lilts. Welcome to our Pokemon Center. We heal your Pokemon back to perfect health. Shall we heal your Pokemon? You begin to hand over the Pokeball with your very first Pokemon, reaching out with half reluctance and half excitement. Okay, we'll need your Pokemon. You nod dutifully and hand over the ball containing your first partner. Nurse Daku takes the capsule, smiles, and as she turns, she mumbles something that almost sounds like it knows what it did. Before you can question it, she turns back around with your Pokeball and drops it into your hands. Thank you. Your Pokemon are fighting fit. We hope to see you again. You weigh the Pokeball in your hands and feel your heart swell with pride, spinning on your heels. You march out of the glass doors, bing bong, and off to the Pokemart. A quick walk to the northeast of the Pokemon Center leads you to a boxy blue roofed building with a sign declaring Pokemart. The doors slide open with a gentle whooshing sound, and you are immediately greeted by a clerk at the counter with a red apron and a tag bearing the name Angel. She greets you. Hey, you came from Twitchtown? You look around and see that there are only 2 other patrons in the store, and they are busying themselves in front of racks of goods. You approach the counter. You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can I get you to take it to him? She puts a parcel in your hands before you respond. Without a thought, you place it in your key items pocket, whatever that is, and find yourself dutifully walking out of the store. Leaping over a series of ledges, you bypass all the bushes you had to push through as you follow Route 1 back to the professor's lab. Professor Oak stands where you left him by the table that is now cleared of Pokeballs. Oh, Kortra, how is my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to be growing more attached to you. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What's that? You have something for me. Caught up in the whirlwind of this very one-sided conversation, you deliver Oak's parcel. Professor smiles widely. Ah, it's the custom Pokeball. I had it on order. Thank you. Gramps, you see Green barge into the laboratory. What do you call me for? Oh, right. I have a request for you two. On the desk there is my invention, the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Gortra and Green, take these with you. The professor hands over the slim, red high-tech devices, one for each of you. You can't get detailed data on Pokemon by just seeing them. You must catch them to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon. The professor hands you 2 special Pokeballs. You put them in a pocket as Professor Oak gives instructions. The special Pokeballs I gave you will only work on the 2 Pokemon that were not chosen when you first entered my lab. When the right Pokemon appears in the wild, it's fair game. Just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. This won't always work, however. A healthy Pokemon can escape, and special Pokeballs can only catch the Pokemon to which they are attuned. You have to be lucky. To make a complete guide on the 3 Pokemon I offered when you made your choice, that was my dream. But I'm too old. I can't get the job done. So, I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. With your help, we'll learn all there is to know about these 3 special Pokemon. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. Alright, Gramps, leave it all to me. Gortra, I hate to say it, but you won't be necessary for this. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one. Don't bother coming around to my place after this. With that, the jerk leaves. Stealthily follow on his heels. You see Green leave a house, marked by a placard that confirms it as his home. You whistle and do your best to pretend you are heading to your nearby house. He narrows his eyes with suspicion before trekking down Route 1. With him gone, you walk into the building he just left without so much as a knock. You're greeted by his sister, Angela. Before you can say anything, she shakes her head and reveals that she suspects why you are here. I know already. My little shit of a brother grabbed a map and told me not to give you one. I made him stand in the corner for a bit for his tone, then sent him on his way. She flashes a mischievous smirk before placing a town map in your hands. You thank her and decide to visit home before setting off on your adventure. As you pop over to your own house, you open the door and call out to your mom whose back is to you. Without looking away from the latest Nintendo console, she shouts, "Sorry, I got a game. Have fun on your journey." You shrug and step back out of the door, and you hear your mother triumphantly cry, "I did it!" into her headset as the door closes behind you. You return to Route 1 and find that you cannot climb the cliffs that expedited your return to Twitchtown. So, it's to the tall grass for you. Almost immediately, you are attacked by a wave of Pidgeys and Rattatas. Okay, win condition. If your Pokemon is at its first stage, 3 potions will need to be purchased from the Pokemart. Buy them with your channel points to make it through all the battles. If your Pokemon is at least its second stage, it is strong enough to make it through all the battles without healing. So this is going to be another poll. You have the duration of the poll to spend channel points. We need 3 potions purchased from the channel points. Okay? That's how you're going to overcome this one since your Pokemon is still at stage 1. This is also a sneaky way to try to get the ads to run when nothing else is happening. It's okay. It looks like you all had enough potions to use to keep your Pokemon healed. You pass through small patches of tall grass to enter a rest stop for weary trainers. By now, you've come to realize that trainers often choose a specialization for the Pokemon they utilize. You like that? The bug catcher trainers in the rest stop have Caterpies and Weedles. The hikers have Geodudes and Machops for company. You see a lone Cappuccino Boy, a trainer class known for hijinks, struggling with a unique Pokemon he has named Rara. She does not seem to want to get back into her ball. In fact, every time she retreats to the ball, she pops out immediately and says, "It's your girl." You pass on through the doors ahead. The sprawling Viridian Forest is a lush sea of green, with grasses growing as high as eye level and trees forming a thick canopy overhead. Sunlight beams in through breaks in the canopy to reveal a number of trainers awaiting a passerby to test the skills of their Pokemon teams. It would be easy to get lost in here, you think, as you pick through the well-trodden paths. To the left, some Caterpies tumble about in the bush. You notice at the tree line to your right a large number of Kakunas and Metapods suspended by fine threads of silk. As you take in these sights, you swear you see a Pikachu dash into a dark patch of tall grass. You rub your eyes and see a trainer standing before you. Bug catcher Lozo challenges you to a Pokemon Weedle is quick to use Poison Sting. As your Pokemon reels from the poison, it attempts to attack but misses. The rival trainer's Weedle aims to slow down your Pokemon with String Shot, while the poison does its work. Win condition: if your Pokemon is at its first stage, 1 potion and 1 antidote will need to be purchased from the Pokemart. Buy them with your channel points to make it through the battle. If your Pokemon is at least its second stage, it is strong enough to resist the poison and defeat the enemies. You make it through the winding path of Viridian Forest and another packed rest stop for travelers. And on the other side, you are greeted by the smooth stone walkways of Pewter City, known as the land between rugged mountains. Nestled between rugged mountains and rocks, this city rests at the foot of the Great Rocky Mountain. It is home to Brock, the leader of Pewter Gym. The Pewter Museum of Science houses many scientific artifacts, including fossils of Aerodactyl and Kabutops, Pokemon from ages past. You visit the Poké Center and are met with another Nurse Daku, who ensures your Pokemon are fighting fit and sends you off with the somewhat ominous "We hope to see you again." You wistfully pass by the Pokemart as your hand fumbles in your pockets and finds only gift cards. You wonder why none of the trainers give you money you could spend on Pokeballs, but continue east on the rugged Route 4, a mystical mountain that is known for its frequent meteor falls. Mount Moon is home to Clefairy, Zubat, Paris, and Geodude. In fact, the Zubats are a nuisance as soon as you enter. The air seems filled with them. You dodge the flying Pokemon as they swoop overhead, hoping to avoid their sharp fangs and their supersonic attacks meant to confuse you, but you realize you're already quite confused by the branching tunnels. You catch a breather and find a fork in the path. Did you go left? You choose the path on the right, careful to step over a slowly crawling Paris, taking care not to disturb the poisonous mushrooms on its back. It isn't long before you face a cave wall with an item on the ground. It is a repel, which will keep wild Pokemon from attacking for a short while. You use it immediately and turn back to the fork in the path, now taking the left tunnel. Who was it earlier? I think Slips called left, yeah? You pick your way through the cave, averting the eyes of trainers who seem to have nothing better to do than wait in dark places to ambush visitors. Eventually, you find a pit with a ladder leading down into the depths. You tighten the straps of your backpack and head down. You reach the bottom of the ladder and find a narrow corridor that leads to one more pit with another ladder. Going down once more, you spot dangerous-looking trainers in all black clothing, with a big red R emblazoned across their chests. They seem to be busy harassing another trainer and his Pikachu. Because of reasons, you cannot help the trainer in his battle, due to archaic rules against teaming up for unsanctioned group battles. You dismiss the cries of "looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again!" as you awkwardly ease your way past the battles, now wrapping up. Down the winding path you go, until you reach a rocky platform with steps hewn into the stone. Atop the platform, you meet a bespectacled individual wearing a lab coat, somehow untouched by the grit and grime of the cave. He jumps back when you approach. "Hey, stop! I found these fossils. They're both mine." You look down at his feet and see two large stones. Super Nerd Vadix challenges you to a Pokemon battle. The trainer uses a team of Grimer, Voltorb, and Coughing. Voltorb spends its time charging power with the charge attack, and humorously is knocked out before it does any real damage. Grimer hits heavily with Pound, and both it and Coughing have the deadly poison gas attack that ensure your Pokemon stays poisoned. Win condition: if your Pokemon is at its first stage, two potions and 2 antidotes will need to be purchased from the Pokemart. Buy them with your channel points to make it through the battle. If your Pokemon is at least its second stage, it is strong enough to resist the poison and defeat the enemy's assault. Okay, stop spending points. We're just in an ad. Stop doing it, man. Quit it, Lego. Stop. It'll get harder. Just let you know. Although your Pokemon has not leveled up just yet, or has not evolved yet, you did have enough items, thanks to Amazon Prime, to make it through the battle. Let's see what Super Nerd Vadix must give you by the ancient rules of Pokemon duels. Oh, wait, first, is your Pokemon evolving? If your Pokemon has gained enough mysterious energy from channel support, it has grown stronger. For Lizardono, it has not. So, good thing you got Amazon Prime. It appears your Pokemon is not quite Super Nerd Vadix turns to you, defeated. We'll each take one, no being greedy. As you ponder whether to take the Dome Fossil or the Helix Fossil, Super Nerd Vadix scoops them both up and begins cackling as he runs away. You begin to give chase when out of the corner of your eye, you spot one of the wild Pokemon the professor wanted you to study. The wild Pokemon engages you in battle, and you reduce its hit points enough to the point you feel confident you could catch it. Win condition: use the Yeet follower emote in chat to throw the right special Pokeball Professor Oak gave you. Do you yeet, or do you no yeet? For this one, I just need someone to throw the special Pokeball. The ball wobbles once, twice, 3 times, then remains still. Congratulations, you've caught another Pokemon. You remember the professor's words. Each of the 3 Pokemon I showed you can be made much stronger by its own method of support for the channel. I wonder if their names are a clue. Which raises your chat Pokemon party level to 2. It is Bitbite! I sense. How did you know? Bitbite swelling with energy. You take a series of ladders and see a growing source of light heralding the exit. You make your way out of the dank cavern to Route 4 and eastward down a bright, grassy path. You hear the rushing of water as you enter the Floral Lagoon City, home of the bike shop and the water-type gym, and its leader Pokemon at the city's Poke Center. And shaking your head at a Pokemart that sells things for money, you curse the lack of a bartering system and head north to the bridge above the city. Wow, green did show up again, you all. It's crazy. Your rival immediately initiates a Pokemon Pokeball in front of you. His Pidgeotto strikes rapidly with Quick Attack. His Bulbasaur takes turns using Sleep Powder and Poison Powder to keep you at bay. His Rattata moves faster than can be tracked with his own quick attack, and his Abra tries to teleport away. If your Pokemon are less than combined stages of 4, 10 potions, 2 antidotes, and 2 awakenings will need to be purchased from the Pokemart. If you have Pokemon at combined stages of at least 4, your team is strong enough to resist the poison and sleep effects, and defeat the enemy's assault. You got a lot of things to buy. See if you can do it in 3 minutes. Your Pokemon is possibly evolving. If your Pokemon has gained enough mysterious energy from channel support, it has grown stronger. And if I look at my list of channel support over here, I do see... What's this? Your Pokemon is evolving. Or should play the right video. Your Bitbite has evolved into Megabit. Let me update this over here. Your chat Pokemon collective level. Now
take
you're
it
at
easy.
3. You won already. Look down the bridge and see many trainers waiting to lock eyes with you. One after the other. They all shift awkwardly, pulling at clothes that barely conceal what definitely appears to be Team Rocket clothing beneath their outerwear. You realize that you're not really using Bill's Pokemon storage system, so maybe you go visit him another day. You head back to Cerulean City, and you spy a commotion in one of the houses. Upon investigating, you see a large hole in the back wall of the building. Peeking out the back of the house, you spot the trainer you saw earlier in the cave. His Pikachu shocking a Team Rocket grunt with numerous bolts. The trainers continue this ridiculous scene down the fenced path south to Route 5. You give them some space. Below Route 5, you approach the underground path. This long, dark hallway leads to Vermilion City, and it's oddly choked with various trainers kicking at the ground, searching for something. Hiker Selips and Gambler Falingo are arguing over whether there are items to be found here. Youngster Jonathan and cool trainer Diablo are having a Pokemon duel over who found the ether on the ground between them. Bird Keeper Egret is threatening to punch the both of them if they don't get over it. You stumble on a Paralyze Heal, and can sense all eyes upon you as you bend to pick it up, then decide it might be best to keep going. You start jogging for the exit, as you hear a horde of trainers converge on the item behind you. You emerge from the tunnel, and find yourself on Route 6, a peaceful walk with numerous Pokemon to either side of the fenced-in path. Pidgeys flap their wings lazily overhead, while Meowths sneak up on Oddishes in the grass. Just before you reach the end of the trail, you see 2 camper trainers walking off the dirt path to ogle over a Psyduck that is drifting belly up in the nearby pond. You pass by, thankful they were not still blocking your travels, and emerge, and exquisite sunsets greet you with warm, misty sea spray. Situated near a sea inlet to the south, it serves as a popular seaport for ships such as the SS Anne, which sails around the world and returns to Vermilion once a year. This breathtaking vista is bathed in orange at the setting of each sun. It is home to the Pokemon Fan Club and Vermilion Gym, which is led by Lieutenant Surge, an electric and what is becoming quite a habit for you. You heal your Pokemon immediately upon spying a new Pokemon Each one Center. Seems to have its own Nurse Daku with the same cryptic farewell. It's second nature now. You head south and take in the immense SS Anne, an impressive ship for those looking to get away for a while. You approach the sailor at the dock, who turns you away, shaking his head at your fistful of gift cards. You squint your eyes in the bright sunlight and barely make out your rival on the deck of the ship, jeering at you and shouting for you to smell him later. You sigh at how weird that guy is and turn around to the center of town. You spot a series of trainers walking towards the Vermilion City gym with arms full of trash cans. A burly man in a military uniform holds open the door to the gym, shouting in a cadence to his underlings, "That's right, baby, we need more trash cans." You pass by the Pokemon fan club and see a trainer hop on a bicycle parked outside. You ask her about the bike and she laughs. "Oh, this?" laughs Scribbles, giggles. "The bicycle shop owner wanted like $1 million for it. I found a free voucher in the underground tunnel. Could you believe it?" You blink in bewilderment. "Hey, you want to ride? I'm headed down Route 10 on the rock tunnel to catch an Onix. I can give you a lift if you want." You nod eagerly as you rock back and forth on well-worn shoes. She lets you hop on and hold tight, and you're quickly on your way to what you hope is another lucky encounter with the remaining Pokemon the professor wanted you to find. A naturally formed underground tunnel. Because it has not been developed, it is inky dark inside. Scribbles parks her bike outside the cave and heads into the darkest, creepiest cavern you've seen so far. Your new friend lights up the darkness with a flash from one of her Pokemon, and you all at once view hikers, picnickers, Pokemaniacs, and more stumbling around in the dark. "Just stay close to me. I've got plenty of repels," she says. And you follow for what seems like hours, your hand brushing against cool cave walls. You climb up and down ladders. Thanks, Nerdcode. Getting lost once or twice, and you both run in terror from groups of Zubats, Mankeys, Machops, Geodudes, and Onyxes. She leads you to the exit and bids you farewell as she disappears back into the dark cave, determined to catch an Onix. You find yourself alone on Route 10, which soon gives way to Lavender Town. This location is a small town covered in a beautiful hue of purple. It is a solemn, quiet locale where people come to visit their departed Pokemon. Some say ghosts appear in the Pokemon Tower, and that they are spirits of Pokemon. Hush covers the town like a heavy blanket, with passers-by visiting the Pokemon Tower with small photographs, bouquets of flowers, and trinkets in hand. It almost seems as if you yourself are a ghost, with the little attention the townsfolk and visitors tend to pay you. To the west lies Route 8, a busy path that signs indicate leads to an underground tunnel to Celadon City, the most populous city in the region. With one more Pokemon to catch, and somehow evolve, you figure that the city of Rainbow Dreams may have someone who has seen your quarry. You blaze a trail westward, encountering a slew of trainers eager to win conditions here. If your Pokemon are less than combined stages of 5, they're at 3 right now, 15 potions, 3 antidotes, and 3 awakenings will need to be purchased from the Pokemart. Buy them with your channel points to make it through the battle. If you have Pokemon at combined stages of at least 5, your team is strong enough to resist the poison and sleep effects and defeat the enemy's assault. So 3 minutes. Since you are at level 3 and not yet level 5, we need 15 potions, 3 antidotes, and 3 awakenings purchased from the shop to succeed. Located in the center of the region, this city is so large it even surpasses Saffron City in the east. Celadon is the main place to spend money in the region if you had some, as it is the home to the Celadon department store and the Celadon Game Corner. Erica, the gym leader, is a grass-type specialist who bestows the coveted rainbow badge upon trainers who best Celadon is by far the liveliest place you've laid eyes upon in your journey. Shoppers jovially travel the streets, arms heavy with bags of goods from the department store. Residents enter and exit the condominiums, and visitors stream in and out of the hotel. A youngster dashes out of the arcade, almost completely obscured by a large Pandarf plushie, while another runs by swinging a Ducky Charms stuffy, 2 of the mock Pokemon toys that can be won with games of chance at the game house. Another youngster gleefully tosses a Tater Queen stuffy into the air, the sunlight glinting off the faux gold crown perched atop the potato-shaped mock Pokemon souvenir. You resolve to return one day when you are through with your quest. You're so caught up in all the activity around you that you don't notice a pedestrian bump into you until you lock eyes. I don't have any Pokemon, cries Gentleman McPurps, leaning heavily on his cane. You apologize and promise you are not trying to start a duel. He straightens his fine clothes and looks quite relieved. Good, good. I left my Pokemon in the room and would hate to just have to hand over money, as is the custom for joining a battle without Pokemon. He laughs. You almost cry. Easy there, friend. Let me make it up to you. I've heard tell of some rare Pokemon to the west, just past Route 16, then south a bit, and Fuchsia City's Safari Zone. He walks with you westerly a bit, adjusting his top hat. He stops in front of a shrub, just barely filling a gap between the fenced-off route and the tree line. These things grow back rather quickly, seemingly as soon as you walk away. He grunts. Well, all you need to do is use cut on it, and it'll just fall right down. He beams at you, then senses your confusion. You don't have a Pokemon that knows cut? You are a Pokemon trainer, aren't you? And by that token, you surely face many gyms, earn technical and hidden machines with which you may teach your Pokemon special moves, haven't you? You definitely want to cry now. He waves his hands apologetically. Now, I can help you out just this once, surely, as a reward for not taking me for all my money with that near battle earlier, eh? He lifts his cane and unsheathes a blade hidden within, and with a flourish, he chops down the bush blocking your path. He returns the blade to the sheath, and uses it properly as a cane once more. There you go, my friend. Nothing between you and rare Pokemon now, eh? Just make sure you have a lot of spare Pokeballs. You run in shame through the opening near the fence, only to find a dead end. In frustration, you produce your town map and plot your course. You hop over the fence, wondering why you never thought to do that earlier, past a rather large, slumbering Snorlax. Their rest area, with a thirsty guard telling you can't just pass through without a bike, down a very steep Route 17 and east through Route 18 to Fuchsia City, as your face takes the color of the city's happening name. In Passing City. Fuchsia City is home of the Safari Zone and the Fuchsia City Gym, led by its master Koga. It isn't long before you spot the Safari Zone and all the signage proclaiming the rare and exotic Pokemon that can be found within. A series of exhibition areas show off various Pokemon that might be caught by lucky trainers. Between you and the Safari Zone is a bush. You punch it until it falls over. The warden tells you about HMs, or hidden machines, and how they're used to teach Pokemon how to use special moves like Cut. This one will teach your Pokemon how to fly. As soon as he helps you teach this amazing new ability to your Pokemon, You both hear a startling crash outside. The warden urges you to investigate. You hurry outside and see the pens that were holding Pokemon outside the Safari Zone in disarray. There once contained Pokemon fleeing to the woods. The citizens and visitors of Fuchsia City hurry off after them, and you hear a loud cry from the doors of the Safari Zone. Erupting from the opening is a strange Pokemon, the remaining one the professor sent you to find. So, do you catch this last Pokemon that escaped? Spam yeet in chat to do so, or say no yeet and be sad about the special Pokeball. The ball wobbles once, twice, 3 times, then remains still. Congratulations, you've caught another Pokemon. You remember the professor's words. Each of the 3 Pokemon I showed you can be made much stronger by its own method of support for the channel. I wonder if their names are a clue. This one. Of course, time to complete your quest. After having encountered all the Pokemon the professor offered at the start of your journey, you realize you can now fly straight back to Twitch Town, with the good news. A large group of Team Rocket members quickly surround you. They demand that you hand over all your Pokemon, so they may continue their mission of obtaining powerful and rare Pokemon for their syndicate to take over the world. If your Pokemon are at combined stages... Oh, I gotta update that. Combined stages of less than 6... You're at 4 now. 20 potions, 5 antidotes, and 4 awakenings will need to be purchased from the Pokemon. Buy them with your channel points to make it through the battle. If you have Pokemon at combined stages of at least 6, your team is strong enough to endure the status effects of the opposing Team Rocket members and defeat the gauntlet. You're at level 4, so that is your objective. 3 minutes to complete it, to win the battle. Okay, I've gotta update these sprites real quick and the levels. So water went to 2. And fire went straight to 3. Okay, so need to add 2 more levels. I promise there's a whole system. When the dust has settled and Team Rocket blasts off again, you pat the head of your newly aeronautical Pokemon. Then you hop on and take to the skies. High in the air, you see below you the many towns you visited in your adventure. And a flu? Oh, you like the reminders? You see below you the many towns you visited in your adventure, a few you did not. Saffron City, to the north, is easily spied by the golden light that seems to glow outward from it. The largest city in the region, it is the most populous area, littered with tall buildings. As you glide closer to home, you spot Cinnabar Island, which drifts just below Twitch Town. The island was once a town until it was wiped out by an eruption from the area's volcano. Your Pokemon swoops over the sea foam islands, and you can see the small buildings of your dear sleepy town slowly grow larger as you eventually reach the wide open center of Twitch Town. Your Pokemon gently touches down on familiar ground. You stretch, loosening your body after clinging tightly to your then airborne pal. You regain your bearings and look about the town, your eyes taking in the sights of Green's house, your own home, and the professor's lab. You spin on your heels and begin to whistle as you walk confidently through the door of the lab. I'm moving on up and ahead by checking my Pokedex. I put Gary instead of Green. Don't worry about that. I'm starting to see what's strong and how they evolve. I'm going to the Pokemon League to boot out the Elite Four. I'll become the world's most powerful trainer. In fact, I'll whip you as a warm-up for Pokemon League. Come on. Win condition. If your Pokemon are at combined stages less than 8, you're at 6. This will be a tough battle. Green's Pidgeot uses Sand Attack to cause attacks from your team to miss, and Aerial Ace to do significant damage. Their Venusaur uses Poison Powder and Sleep Powder to keep rival Pokemon at bay. The Alakazam uses Psychic for damage and Recover to heal back missing hit points. Their Rhydon uses Earthquake to deadly effect. Green's Gyarados wields Hydro Pump and Hyper Beam, both very strong attacks. Finally, their Arcanine uses Extreme Speed to outpace opposing Pokemon. 30 potions, 6 antidotes, and 6 awakenings will need to be purchased from the Pokemart to make it through the battle. Okay, you've got 3 minutes to get all that crap. Nerd Code, I know you're ready. Make it happen. Green laughs after the battle is concluded, your ailing Pokemon all having returned to their special Pokeballs. Good try, Cortria. Thanks for the warm-up. I'm going to take on the Elite Four and become the next Pokemon champion. Maybe you'll see me on TV. Green heals your Pokemon after the battle. You've done a great job, really. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You really helped Gramps out with his dream, and that's pretty cool, yeah? Maybe we'll face each other again after we've caught more Pokemon and trained them up. Green looks to the sky and jumps back. You follow his gaze upwards and see a large, gold, glittering Pokemon flying across a blue sky, a vivid rainbow arcing just behind it. Oh wow, Green says. Looks like there's a lot more adventure ahead for both of us. Green winks at you and gives a thumbs up. Well, smell you later. And off he goes to his own journey. You look at the sky again, and the mysterious Pokemon has disappeared. With a smile, you walk through the door to the professor's lab. You triumphantly stride past the professor's aides, hard at work at desks and various highly technical machines. Professor Oak notices you only as you stop right in front of him. Good to see you. How is your Pokédex coming along? Here, let me take a look. Okay. And as a final check to see... So, how did you do? We'll get the professor's Pokemon rating. If the Pokemon cumulative team level is 1 to 3, we'll click that button. If it is 4 to 6, we'll click that button. 7 to 8, that one. And 9, that one. Y'all hit Pokemon Party level 6 with your evolutions. Congratulations. And you present the Pokédex to him. Professor Oak beams at you. You've done great work at accomplishing the task I set before you. With the adventure you set out on, you brought back so much more knowledge of the Pokemon we are studying here. The things you've learned with your new Pokemon friends will help trainers everywhere. Please, take this as a reward. You walk out of the professor's lab, basking in pride for the hard work and long journey you completed. You think of the friends you met, the challenges you faced, and the memories you made along the way. You look once more to the sky and see no strange golden Pokemon, but the rainbow dazzles in a deep blue sky, and you can't help but smile at all the adventures waiting for you tomorrow in the wonderful world of Pokemon. You did it! Congratulations, chat. You took your starting Pokemon from Professor Oak. You found 2 more. And you managed to get a good bit of evolutions under your belt. You went back to Professor Oak, and you helped him on his lifelong journey that he's too old to do on his own. And honestly, I get that. So that's the Streamiversary. that is our adventure for tonight concluded. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed your time. For those who are subbed, I hope you found your names in the story. I hope you enjoyed the sprites, the animations, the prizes if you won them. But thank you for being here. Thank you for making it another really fun year. Y'all are a huge part of y'all are a booster shot whenever I need it to uplift me, and I really appreciate that. And I'm thankful for y'all being here the entire time, whether you've just hung out, whether you've lurked, whether you've donated, whether you've subbed, or whether you tossed bits. Just being here, hanging out, being part of the community, I really appreciate it. If you've been new here, if you've been lurking, if you've been secretly in the shadows, I appreciate that too. But thank you for being here. Thanks for making it 4 years of affiliate. And we're gonna find... Actually, I have someone we're gonna raid, I think. Is anyone doing a special stream that you're aware of? Any affiliate anniversaries or anything like that going on? If so, do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to guide a raid out. Everyone is asleep for you? Okay. Okay. If anyone had issues with their codes, I think everyone got them okay. If you've won and for some reason your code isn't working, let me know, and I can try to find what digit I typed in wrong. But, we're good? Okay. Okay. We haven't raided him in a while. We're gonna raid Aqualung. He's someone who I think has good vibes as well. He's playing his playthrough of all Mario games. He's on Super Mario 64. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for being in Discord and fucking talking when you don't have to when there isn't a stream. I appreciate you. I love you. I'll put those sprites in later in Discord so you can see the evolutions that you didn't see through the game tonight. But thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you appreciate the wonderful world of Pokemon! From Kortra and from you too. You have a good night. Let's say hi to Aqualung.